I went through a phase in my life where I would just say, why God? Why is this happening? Why am I going through all of this? I've been suffering from very dark depression and anxiety. Seeing my siblings suffer due to drug addiction, heroin, it was very painful to watch it all. And that's when I hit rock bottom.
There was about a year of just grief. And I dealt with depression, I dealt with anxiety, and really just was in a dark place and struggled, and came to a point where I was just broken inside.
Our captain, Owen Thomas, tragically committed suicide, and I think our whole world was rocked.
I remember Taylor calling me, and I couldn't even recognize him. He was so upset, and I think what it really was the shock.
I didn't really comprehend what happened. To lose someone your own age and that young, I don't think you can comprehend that. Shortly thereafter, my girlfriend's good friend took her own life.
No one can ever understand why people do that, and that's the hardest part in all of this, is trying to figure out why.
As a child, my dad had left us and went to Montana. My grandmother passed away, and she had lived with us. Around the same time, my grandpa had molested a few of my cousins, and he was taken to prison. I had grown up with so much abandonment. I really struggled with separation anxiety. I didn't have hope in this life. I didn't know why I existed. And I looked out the window and thought, I'm gonna take my life. I'm just gonna kill myself.
I felt I was already dead. My heart was still beating, but inside I was dead. So I figured, why not just go ahead and just finish it? I'm already halfway dead emotionally, and might as well do it physically. The first emotion was hopelessness. There's always hope.
I turned to prayer. I didn't really know what else to turn to because no one knew about the struggles that I was dealing with. I just asked God to just give me strength. God just sort of humbled me, and he's like, you can't do this alone. You need help. You need help from me. You need help from the people that love you around you. I gave the reins back to him, and I wanted to live for his glory, and I needed him.
I had kind of in desperation said, God, I don't know where else to turn. I'm about to take my life, and I have to turn somewhere. I'm going to turn to you. If you're real, speak to me. And I felt God say, I want you to follow me. And I was so overwhelmed by God that I got down on my knees and was just crying my eyes out that God was rescuing me. From that day on, I never experienced depression. The counselor couldn't do it. My mom couldn't do it. As many talks as my mom and them had. And the day I accepted Christ and the day I was saved, all of it went away, every single bit of it. My life would have been over if it wasn't for him. I think that's the biggest advice I can give, is for people to turn to God, because he is all-powerful. He can do anything, and that he can definitely deliver you from what you're going through.
I believe that your relationship with the Lord grows stronger when you have hard times. So when I did have hard times growing up, with divorce, with financial issues, my mom always used to say, pray about it, have faith. It really does help, it really does. And when you do that, you don't stress because you know it's in God's hands.
After everything that happened, after I've come to actually know God, I realized that I went through those trials for a reason that made me who I am today. That's why I'm a stronger person now.
Be hopeful to other people. Give people hope. Sometimes we look for the negative things, We look for the drugs and the alcohol, and we try to fill that void in ourselves. That's temporary. That's not true peace. That's not gonna fill a void. We all have that void inside of us, and only God's gonna fill that void. What I believe has given me the real winning edge is seeking God first in all things, in everything I do.